Welcome to the 2017 Celestial Preview. In this segment, we're going to talk about the cosmic theme. When I was preparing the astrology forecast, I became aware of a set of numbers in the ephemeris that I hadn't noticed before. They referenced a position in our position in relation to the galactic center of the galactic sun. Now, this seemed familiar, or this seemed significant, and I was curious to discover more. So I did a little research. You've probably heard about the galactic center. It's the center of our Milky Way. It's the center of our galaxy. It's a core of intense energy and plasma, and it's makes a lot of electromagnetic and other energetic noise. Astronomers think there's a black hole at the center, but they aren't quite sure where this black hole leads. And there's a lot of question about black holes and wormholes as far as connecting dimensions or different universes. So there's a lot of question about the whole thing. But it's thought that the energy of the galactic center is transmitted outward and activates our sun and our solar system, sort of like a sun for our sun. So karmic astrologer Griga Susanna suggests that the energies of the central sun open our subconscious and releases old emotional patterns and wounds. It makes people more sensitive, more psychic, and intuitive, and charges the central nervous system. Esoteric beliefs suggest that the galactic center transmits divine consciousness, and now we're working with the seventh ray, which is like the highest, it's the Christ consciousness. Cosmic sources of knowledge may include, reporting misconduct by, other people against that, against others that impact the world, and we've seen a certain amount of that going on with the WikiLeaks and all those different things going on. It urges facing challenges openly and honestly. So the location of the galactic center in your astrology chart right now offers you insights into the role that you are currently playing on a universal level. From about 1938 to 2011, the galactic center was at 26 degrees in Sagittarius. Now, 26 degrees is the number for leadership, and it's the capacity to create great wealth in business and other financial matters. And it contributes to the rise of big corporations and generally a focus on creating material wealth. It's kind of a funny energy, in the Chaldeans believe it's a kind of a funny energy in the sense that it's a partnership energy, so there's great capacity to get a lot of things done when working together. But there's a little shadow side to it, in the sense that you sort of have to watch your back. You have to watch the integrity of your partners, and if the integrity of the partners is not good, then you can get stabbed in the back. And so there's this little dynamic that plays out with this energy, and there's a shadow side to that 26 energy, which is what we had basically in the 1900s and right at the turn of the century. And there's this desire for power and personal gain, and that can kind of overrule the more beneficial benefits of the 26. So in 2011, we transited so that now we are aligned at 27 degrees in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is the sign of the philosopher. He's the seeker, the adventurer. It's an optimistic and lucky energy. And, it's looking for expansion and growth and education and philosophy and travel, and just it's a very more esoteric sort of a energy. So 27 degrees in Sagittarius is a highly auspicious number in the Chaldean numerology. It represents the number of reward, of cosmic reward, of harmony and excellence. It contains the vibration of courage, love, and power and generosity. It's a humanitarian number. We've also, we can also experience its shadow side where, you get really egotistic, someone can be really egotistical and stubborn and be a know-it-all. So, we're working with finding that balance. But the 2 represents communication and relationships, and the 7 represents spiritual insights, and they total 9, which is the number of humanitarian leadership and humanitarian unconditional love. So suffice it to say that this is the universal theme it's a very lucky, auspicious reward number, and it's about working with unconditional love and a forward movement with our design and with our evolution, our whole humanitarian and planetarium evolution. Now, converting this to the human design hexagrams, it turns out to be the number 11. So the number 11 hexagram is the gate of ideas, and it's the gate of the seeker. So we find ourselves immersed in this energy. We're seeking answers to something elusive, but and intangible. There's an inner drive to find these answers, to make sense of everything, but we just can't quite put our finger on exactly what it is. So with this particular energy, at this particular time, our ideas are reflected back to us so that we can see whether they're good ideas. We see other people acting out our ideas. And, so it's a perfect mirror that helps us sort out the best ideas. In I Ching, the 11 hexagram represents heaven and earth, moving together in communion, fulfilling their duality. The ancient wisdom associated with this particular hexagram suggests that when there's peace and harmony and the people feel safe, then they can progress and advance to the next level. It's a sign of good fortune. It's an auspicious energy. So scientists have demonstrated, we all know about the Earth has a magnetic field, and it comes out the poles and goes up and circulates back into the South Pole. Well, scientists have demonstrated that we have a magnetic field around us, and it emanates from the heart, and it moves upward through our head and out to the heavens, to the universe, and then it cycles back down and comes in through the earth and back up into our bodies. So we have this energetic flow, this energetic way of bringing in ideas. And we can send out wishes and watch and observe the answers that come back, and which allow us to respond to them in some way or another. So Richard Rood in the Gene Keys refers to the 11th hexagram as opening up the world to light. Now the shadow side of the 11 creates distortion and delusion and fantasy. So it's obscurity. It's making us so we can't see the truth. And so when we don't see the truth and aren't aligned with the truth, then our lives become miserable. So people can turn these creative, it's a very creative ability. This, ideas is very creative. It's possibilities. It's what are you going to do with them? So some people can turn these creative abilities inward and live in a total world of fantasy. So they're totally disconnected from the earth, and they don't have a clue. They're just living in their own dream world. And other people will project this fantasy out into the world, which effectively hides themselves. It hides the wisdom and the truth from themselves. So the gift of this hexagram is idealism, or giving ideas and the true dreams a way to manifest themselves through some sort of a structure, some sort of a form that works, as long as you're not fixed in the way that this dream is supposed to manifest. So in other words, say you want a relationship, or you want a new house, or you want a better job, or, more clients in your business, or whatever it is, you send out this information from your heart through, goes out through your head, and it comes back through the earth, manifesting through the earth, and who knows how it may come back. You may meet a friend and go have a latte at the local, latte house, and meet somebody, and you start a new relationship. Or you may get a job offer that just totally comes out of the blue that you never had thought about doing. Or, you might see a place on TV or get an email that really sparks your curiosity. You'd really like to move there. So these are ways that if you don't have expectations, your answers will come back in different unexpected sort of ways. That is opposing where you're going to meet somebody on Match.com, or you're going to have a specific sort of a job that does this and that. That's like limiting. It's like narrowing the field of possibilities so narrow that you miss the bigger picture. So Saturn is in the gate 11 for quite a bit of the year, for the first part of the year, and then at the end of the year. So if you know anything about Saturn as an archetype and a mythological being, Saturn is known as the cosmic teacher. He's the taskmaster. He's the one that slaps you over your fingers if you haven't got it done right. And he's also the timekeeper. He's really good at grounding your ideas. It's like he's like the master alchemist. You sort out all the dross, all the unwanted, all the imperfections, so that what is left is your pure gold. It's the most functional part of an idea that works. And Saturn makes you, well, he doesn't make you, but he certainly prods you and urges you to take steps to put this into a form, put it into a concrete form that has steps and has a structure and has a function, so that you can go from point A to point B, and you know how you're going to get there. So Saturn is all about structure and timing and organization and planning and just plain old doing it. So you've got this whole element going on with Saturn, provoking us to bring out, sift through, and come up with the best ideas that are going to further this whole humanitarian consciousness, this whole humanitarian unconditional love for not only humans, but all life forms, and for the earth, and for everything in the universe. So it's, we're looking at this big picture that we're trying to distill down into and pieces, so that we can actually move ahead and take the best ideas that we can to move forward into this new paradigm. So I'd like to leave you with some ideas, some questions to contemplate, to send out to the heavens, to the universe, and then watch to see what comes back. So ask yourself, what do you really want? What makes your heart sing, fills you with joy, fills you with life force, and feels right? So the next question to ask once you find this out is, how willing are you to make it happen? Now, this is where resistance comes in, and this is where we can get really sidetracked, because then, if we live in the delusion, and if we live in the illusion and the fantasy, and we aren't willing to take any action, then that's where we stay. And and changes are really hard to happen. So ask yourself, what would my life be like if my dream came true? What would happen? How would I feel? What kind of things would I do during the course of the day? Who would I be associated with? And then ask what needs to happen or be released and healed for your dream to become a reality. So you can take and amplify this question by tapping on your pineal, on your third eye. Tap on it while you ask this question. And if you tap on it or ask this question before you go to sleep at night, it's like you're giving all your angels and everybody an opportunity to work on healing you and releasing these things from you and giving you understanding so that you know the steps that you need to do. So I invite you to continue to the next video, which is where we're going to locate where the galactic center is in your chart, in your astrology chart, and in your human design chart, so that we can see just what themes are you designed to work out this year. And so until the next video, enjoy.